I grew up in Pakistan. So I was born. I was born in California, and my dad used to be in the Pakistan Navy, and so in the 80s, in the early 80s, the Pakistan Navy sent him to California to the Naval Postgraduate School for his master's. And so I was born in California, but once his studies came to an end, moved back to Pakistan, and I lived there for until 15 years, until I was about 16, and then moved back to the U.S. In early 2000. Growing up in Pakistan, one of the things for us was that we were incredibly fortunate. My family was incredibly fortunate to be a little bit better off than maybe the average Pakistani family, and so my parents were able to were able to afford to send all of us to private school. So we had sort of the best education. Part of the reason my English is so good is because, as one of the benefits of going to private school is they're going to teach you English at a very, very young age, even before you are exposed to your home language, and it's such an important piece. But always surrounded by incredibly loving parents. I had two other brothers. Didn't always get along with them growing up, as siblings occasionally have those issues. But the one thing that really defined sort of my growing up in Pakistan and in the U.S. was that my grandmother on my mom's side, my maternal grandmother, lived with us, and so she was our primary caretaker, because both of my parents were just incredibly busy in trying to provide for the family. So my grandmother was really the one that was responsible for making sure that we were on the right bus to school, that we did our homework, that we had our lunch packed for school and everything else, and that we had our nap time before the parents came home, etc. So it was, it was always very fortunate to be surrounded by an incredibly loving family. One of the things that really defines Pakistani education system, so Pakistan is a very unique country when it comes to its educational system for any number of different reasons. So similar to what happens in a lot of different cultures, the country has a public education system and the country has a private education system, and the two are just very, very, very different. Another way of putting it is there's an education system for the poor, there's an educational system for the rich, or at least for the middle class and beyond. And one of the many benefits of being able to attend a private school is that you are part of the British educational system in the way that the school is run. So the school is run by local administrators and local teachers and local staff, but the educational system is derived from the way that the British do theirs. And so when you get to high school, there's virtually no differences in the elementary and middle schools. But when you get to high school, unlike where we have electives here and you're able to swap out courses, every year of your 4-year high school journey, the electives that you choose in your freshman year in Pakistan stay with you for your high school career. And you can choose subjects like Shakespearean literature or economics or European history, etc. So these are very well-versed subjects, and you're given a list of maybe 10 and you're asked to pick 4, and those 4 stay with you for your high school career. From freshman to sophomore to junior year, the exams that are given to you by your local school, and the local school obviously decides whether your grades are good enough for you to move on to the next grade level. But your high school diploma at the end of your senior year, that final exam is administered to you by the University of Cambridge. So the exams are flown in, they're drafted by the University of Cambridge, they're flown in the night before. Once you've taken the examination, your particular exam is flown back. It's graded by the staff at the University of Cambridge, and so your final diploma comes to you from the University of Cambridge. It makes it a lot easier for students of aspirations to study abroad, such as in the US or the UK, to be able to get in much easier, where they don't have to prove the equivalency of their diploma that they received from Pakistan to maybe how it's equivalent to the high school in the US. Obviously, the educational system in the US much more different. Here in New York State, we have a local diploma, we have Regents diploma, and we have AP courses, but by and large, everybody is getting the same quality of education. It's very much unlike the educational system in Pakistan. Anytime you move to a new place, you have the struggle of making friends, right? And so, for me, the challenge was the family moved to the U.S. In the middle of my high school career. So the challenge there is not only the educational system, which is obviously vastly different. Also, because you're in a new place, you don't know anybody. It was a little bit of a challenge, both from an educational standpoint as well as from being able to make friends, etc. When you don't know anyone and you're in a new place, you tend to become a little bit. Even if you're an extrovert, like I am most of the time, it's very easy to just get cooped up in your own shell and embrace loneliness. So it took me a while to make friends. Would have liked to have moved either the beginning of a school year. One of the things was that I moved in the middle of a school year, or at the beginning of the high school career. As a freshman, so it would have made the adjustment a little bit easier. But I'm certainly incredibly grateful for the experiences that I had both in Pakistan and in high school and in the U.S. and just sort of being able to embrace the differences and be a little bit more well versed in sort of what those differences are in many countries.